Clash of Champions is 18 days away, and we have a much better card right now than we had last week for just one match. Even though it's a great match, it was a great match. It's better to have a lot more of these, especially since every title should be on the line here, barring the SmackDown Tag Team title, because we don't know the status of Xavier Woods yet. But we have a lot to make up for that, so let's get to it. First off, the Cruiserweight Championship, as Drew Gulak, champion, defends against Humberto Carrillo. I don't really know how this match came about because I haven't watched 205 Live in a while. Not that it's not a bad show, it's just conflicting things, conflicting schedules, conflicting work schedules, conflicting other things. And of course, conflicting shows with Ms. and Mrs. being on for a little bit, which is honestly the better show after having a general manager that cares more about the 24/7 title than his actual brand. It's just dissatisfying and disgraceful for what was a great brand 205 Live. It still is. On the other hand, with 205 Live having Drake Maverick as a runaround general manager, just going after the 24/7 title, which he currently, as of this moment, unless he loses it during the recording of this, is currently the 24/7 champion, so that'll take precedent. So again, the cruiserweights are kind of shafted a little bit. But it does give us a little bit of what I've called Anarchy Nights, which means there's no one in charge, so anything could fucking happen on the show. Which makes it a better show, honestly, but nonetheless, this is a great match. It's a great clash of styles. I think Gulak will retain. I would love for Humberto to win the title. I think it's too soon for him to do it, though. But this match would be the reason to prove me wrong on this. He could win it, and he's a good kid. He's a bright young kid and could probably take the Cruiserweight division to bigger heights, but I just don't see it happening. Gulak needs to hold this until WrestleMania, I feel. Or at least Survivor Series or something. Or at least maybe even the Rumble. Because Gulak has talked about making a better 205 Live for the past year and a half, maybe 2 years now. And he needs this reign to solidify making 205 Live better in his own vision, if that makes sense. Next up, the rematch from SummerSlam is Kofi Kingston defends the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. When we last left off at SummerSlam, Orton went after Kofi's family. Kofi rightfully just beat the shit out of Orton until he was disqualified. And of course, last night on SmackDown, we had Orton reading a supposed note from Kofi's family. We don't know for sure if that was from Kofi's son Kai. We don't know for sure, but it got the message across. It got what needed to be put across there. And, a great match with Big E last night on SmackDown as well. But this match is for the title again. I really don't know here, because I really would have thought Kofi would have won and just beat Orton and just got out of it. Obviously that was just wishful thinking on my part, because, this has been something going on for over a decade between these two, and we needed a definitive winner, and hopefully we'll have a definitive winner in this match. If not, Hell in a Cell is coming up next month, and that would be the place to get that done. However, I feel Kofi will retain, either from a countout, disqualification, whatever. But I feel he needs to get this win. He needs this just to solidify his reign. It's been a great ride for Kofi over these past few months. But you need a win like this to solidify that title reign, especially with the way it played out a couple years ago when Kofi, this would have been his first world title maybe a decade ago, Orton being the WWE champion at the time. But we all know what happened there. So Kofi needs to retain for sure. And finally, a little bit of a double header here, as the Raw Tag Team Champions Braun Strowman and the Universal Champion Seth Rollins defend against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And after that match, Seth puts his Universal title on the line against Braun. Let's go with the tag titles first. Seth and Braun won a match originally. Braun was in the United States Championship match against the United States Champion and the face of America, AJ Styles. The rest of the OC got involved, making Gallows and Anderson defend the titles against Seth and Braun. which they won the titles. I was very shocked about that. I didn't think it would happen. But this gives Braun a legitimate tag team title reign. Not that the last reign wasn't legitimate when you have a badass like Nicholas at WrestleMania, but, education comes first. So that was like a one-day title reign for no reason, other than just a great moment, which it was an incredible moment, but it just, was the typical Raw booking of that time. However, they won the titles, very shocked about that, which caused an 8-team tag team turmoil, something I haven't seen in a long time, and I actually enjoyed this a lot. Tag teams for me really have kind of been the mad match of the show. Not that the tag teams aren't great, it's just you just throw them around all the time, and it's just you don't have enough teams to make a solid division. So it gets stale after a while. But that's what happens, because when you bring a team like Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode being a tag team specialist over the past few, probably one of the best tag teams ever in the past few years with Beer Money, you put them together, and an incredible team that I never thought we would see happen, and they win this tag team tournament, and they face Braun and Rollins for the titles, Clash of Champions. But I really don't know what happened here. There's a lot of ways you could have this play out. Braun could easily walk away from the match and have Seth just beaten down and just drained and lose the titles, and then obviously have the Universal title next, so Braun's fresh and Seth has to overcome a literal mountain of a man that is Braun Strowman. Not even just a mountain of a man, just a fucking mountain. The mountain that is Braun Strowman. However, I feel like they could retain. I just feel it would be better for them to drop the titles and then just have it at it with the Universal title. If that is the case, then Braun would win the championship, be the Universal Champion. However, if they actually work together, if they actually are a team, because, when they won it, it was great. That was a one-time deal, though. We haven't seen them as an actual team in an actual match where it matters. Not that the match before didn't matter, it's just, you know what I mean here. We have to have an actual team as the fucking tag team champions. This has happened several times over the years, where a challenger and a champion become tag champs, and then they just say fuck it, and then have the match of the pay-per-view for the actual world title that actually matters. So the tag title will just be relegated as a storyline, which isn't a bad thing. It gets them out there, but, I would rather have them have their own deal, if that makes sense. But if Braun does what I think he'll do, then he is smart, and he'll be great, and he usually is an intelligent man in these things. But if he doesn't win the title now, at least he has the tag titles, unless what I said happens. Then he's just fucked. And what do you do at this point when you're not going to give Braun the fucking title after all of this shit he's had to go through? Give him the fucking title. Just give it to him. Just let him do shit with the title, and it'll be great. But with that being said, Clash of Champions is about 18 days away, and we'll have a lot more title matches because, again, every title is on the line.